Kieran Anderson here, Group Publisher at Applied Radiology. We're live here at RSNA, and I'm excited to have Mark Miller, who is an Executive Vice President at Concord Technologies, sitting here in the booth with me. Mark, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I'd love to hear a little bit about your company, what you guys are involved in. I understand you're involved in, data and interoperability, but you tell us.
Yeah, so Concord has a 25-year history of operating one of the most secure and reliable data exchange networks in North America. We focus on healthcare. We support regulated industries, but our focus is on healthcare and making sure the data that a patient needs gets where it's supposed to be on time, securely, and accurately.
Interesting. So you're here at RSNA, right? This is like literally the biggest conference, certainly in America, maybe the world when it comes to radiology. How did you decide to bring this to the world of radiology? How did you make that transition?
So it all starts with a fax. Concord started as a digital fax company. Fax is all throughout the healthcare system. You're not going to get rid of it. It has to be present. Care happens in the community. That's where the fax originates. And so Concord felt that we could make a huge impact on patient care and throughput in the healthcare system by bringing digital fax and fax workflows to healthcare.
Right, no, that makes a lot of sense. And when you think about data interoperability and helping medical practices be more efficient, and here we are, we're talking about radiology. How does that work?
So we mentioned the fax. That's one of the many ways data enters the healthcare system. So a patient goes to see a physician, they get an order for their knee hurts, they get an order for an MRI. That MRI order has to go to an imaging center. The imaging center has to understand what's on that order, schedule the patient in to have the image. A result is generated that goes back to that provider. Somewhere in there it has to go through prior authorization and insurance and all this other payer work to get back to that provider to then schedule surgery or whatever needs to happen. So what Concord can do, what Concord can help with is, number one, capture that data as it's traveling in flight. So the fax normally is a dead, cold PDF. We bring that PDF to life, extract the data off of it. We can then tell the imaging center, hey, this is an order for an MRI for Mark. Do you know Mark? Let's look at the EMR. Yes, we made a fire call to the EMR. We know Mark. We'll put him in our queue for an MRI.
That's fantastic.
All of that process can continue to happen for the payer side, so the prior auth of the MRI, the payment for the MRI. We can help coordinate all of those care points with a digital documents chain versus just a PDF.
Right, and this is all happening kind of behind the scenes.
Right, behind the scenes.
Making everybody's life a little easier.
Yes, that's the whole point, speed to care.
That's great,
Yeah.
That's great. So where is Concord on this sort of curve of how you're implementing this and quite frankly, how practical is this right now? It seems very practical to me based on what you've just said, but what are your customers saying?
Practical is our promise, right? With Concord's practical AI is how we get all of this done. The time is right and it's now. We attend conferences all over the country. We work with customers all over the country who have a serious problem managing data. And it impacts patient care. It delays time to treatment. So the time is now. The standards have been out forever. HL7 has been out forever. I like to say it's a standard with a small s, meaning that there's still lots of variability between all of the different disparate systems and how they use HL7. Concord is the bridge, and Concord Connect specifically is the bridge that can connect the community-based physician with a fax machine to the big Epic academic center, to the imaging chain using something else at their imaging center, to the payer that needs to process that data, and the prior auth company. They all use HL7 and secure direct messaging and different communication technologies in a different way. And Concord is that translator that can help move all of those pieces seamlessly.
A key component in the whole imaging chain.
Yes.
Absolutely. So now you must be working with, people in this industry, right? Other vendors to pull all this together, to help medical practices kind of incorporate this. Talk to me about some of the more interesting use cases you've seen out there.
Absolutely. So our partner here at the show, Royal Health.
Okay.
We've had a long history with Royal Health, helping them move documents around. And Royal specializes in operational efficiency and workflow support for imaging centers. That's their niche. And so they came to us with a challenge. We have a customer that has they're struggling with a throughput problem. Their order to scan time is a mess and they want help. So we worked with them, applied AI tools through our Concord Connect platform to then a fax comes in, a document comes in, a secure direct message comes in, whatever that format is, we can capture that data. We can put it in the right queue. So again, it's, hey, this is an MRI, it goes here. It can automatically get scheduled and move on to the patient record without any human intervention. So Royal's customer has improved their order to scan time by over 25%. They've improved profitability by over 20%. And most importantly, they've shortened that order to scan time by 72 hours. It impacts patient care, right? That's what we're here for, and that's what they're doing, and they're using us to help.
That's a fantastic use case. I mean, that's really where the rubber meets the road at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
You know? What else would you say, or anything else you would add as we begin to wrap up here?
Yeah, I would say that you asked, is the market ready? Is the time now?
Right.
And Concord has the products and the solutions to do that. We can move data through any format needed, easily and simply, whether it's the phone number and a fax, through an internet protocol, a secure direct message, an HL7 message. We can take the data, put it where it needs to be reliably and reproducibly, so our customers can focus on their patients, not on paperwork.
Makes an awful lot of sense. Well, Mark, I'm excited and thrilled to hear about this, and I'm sure others will be as well.
Absolutely.
I want to personally thank you for taking the time to stop by our booth here at Applied Radiology,
Absolutely.
here live at RSNA. It's very nice to meet you,
Nice
and
to meet you
best
too.
of luck
Yeah, thanks.
with all of this.